Okay, welcome back in. So, right now I'm going to be taking a look at the Utah Hockey Club slash Arizona Coyotes. Obviously, in the offseason, Arizona moved to Utah. So, a lot of the stats and names are still going to show Arizona Coyotes on the NHL 24 game, which I'm using currently for my previews. But obviously, Utah Hockey Club is going to be the team moving forward. So for Utah, obviously, this is going to be their first season in the NHL. It'll be interesting to see how they play out, and I will make my prediction at the end of the video as to how I think they'll do. And yeah, I'll just dive into it. So I'm just going to get into all the teams or all the different players that either have signed or are still a part of the squad. So starting with the forward group, Andrew Agazine, I believe, was signed in the offseason. Travis Barron as well. Cole Bedion, I believe is how you pronounce his name, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Now, the first name you can actually see, their picture, is Nick Bustad. He still has 1 year left to go on his contract. Michael Carcone is still there, so therefore Travis Boyd has left town. So for Michael Carcone, he's coming into the last year of his contract. Logan Cooley has 2 more years left to go on his entry deal. After Cooley, we have Lawson Krause. He has 3 years left to go on his contract. Josh Doan has 2 years left to go on his entry deal. Obviously, the son of Shane. Curtis Douglas is there. Dylan Genther, I believe, has 1 year left to go on his rookie deal as well. So I'm sure I'll be looking for a payday by the end of the season. Barrett Hayton, I believe, has re-signed, so he is coming back. Taj Aginla, I believe, was the draft pick for the Utah Hockey Club. Obviously, the son of Jerome. He was picked 6th overall, and he was drafted out of Kelowna, which is in the WHL. Milos Kellerman is a member of the Utah Hockey Club. Clayton Keller has 4 years left to go on his contract. Alex Kerfoot has a year left to go on his deal. Sam Lipkin is a member of the Utah Hockey Club. Brian Little's contract did expire last season, so therefore the money that he was owed is off the books for the Utah Hockey Club. Matias Machelli has 2 years left to go on his contract. Mikko Matica is a member of the Utah Hockey Club as well. Jake McBain has a year left to go on his contract. Ben McCartney, Noel Nord are both members of the Utah Hockey Club. And then Liam O'Brien has re-signed, so he's going to be a member of the Utah Hockey Club for a couple of years to come. Akurati is a member of the team as well. Nick Schmaltz, as you can see on the screen, has 2 years left to go on his contract. Igor Sokolov is a member there. Kevin Stenlund was signed. He used to play for the Florida Panthers, and Jacob Voracek's contract did come off the books this past season for the team. Now we'll take a look at their defense. So they have signed Robert Bortozzo. He last played for the Islanders. Ian Cole, who just played last year with the Vancouver Canucks. They have signed Kevin Connaughton, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Arton Duda is a member there as well. Josh Brown is gone. Travis Dermott's gone. And Sean Dursey has re-signed with the Utah Hockey Club. Michael Kesserling, I apologize, is there as well. He has obviously re-signed. Patrick Koch, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is coming back as well, as is Vladislav Kolyachonok, if I pronounced that name correctly, who knows. Marverick Lamoureux is a member of the team. John Marino was signed in the offseason. I believe he last played for the Pittsburgh Penguins, if I'm not mistaken. Montoya Onijubi is a member there as well. Janice Jerome Moser has left town, as has Victor Soderstrom. They are not coming back. Mikhail Sergachev was traded from the Tampa Bay Lightning to the Utah Hockey Club, so I'm sure he'll be the top left defenseman for the team. I'd be very shocked if he wasn't in the top 4. Mikesmilan Zuber, if I pronounced that name correctly, is a member of the Utah Hockey Club. And last but not least, we do have, Juuso Valimaki. He has re-signed with the team. Shea Weber, just like Brian Little and Jacob Voracek, their contracts were just under, or the only reason they're on the NHL roster is because they're technically getting paid by the team. So Weber obviously doesn't play for Arizona/Utah, and he hasn't played since I think the 21 2021 season when he played for the Montreal Canadiens. Alrighty, we'll take a look at the goaltending situation. So in goal, we have Connor Ingram. You can see on the screen, he has 2 years left to go on his deal. Jackson Stober is a member. Anson Thornton. Karel Vegemekla, if I pronounce that name correctly, is coming into the last year of his contract. And Matt Vallata is also on the roster. But I guarantee you, it's just going to be Ingram and Vegemekla, if I pronounce those names correctly, as their goaltending tandem for this upcoming year. Okay, when it comes to my prediction, now this could be a team that surprises a lot of people. They could possibly make it into the playoffs because for me, that Central Division, anything can happen. I know when I talked about my preview with Chicago and I talked about all the talented teams that were in that division, I did have Utah above Chicago. So if I had to make a lock for the top 3, I think I said this before, I think it's going to be Dallas, Colorado, and even Nashville because of the amazing offseason acquisitions that they got. I'd be very shocked if Nashville didn't make it into the top 3. If they don't make it into the top 3, they should get into a wild card position at least. I think it might be a split with the Pacific and the Central Division when it comes to the 8 teams in this year's postseason. But don't doubt that the Utah Hockey Club can't do something miraculous. I mean, Vegas made it in their first season. Seattle, yes, they lost in their first, or didn't make it in the first season, but they made it in the second. But this could be one of those very surprising teams that could possibly make it. They have young talent. Obviously, having a guy like Logan Cooley on your team definitely helps. I wouldn't be surprised if they did make a jump and possibly got into a wild card spot, but who knows? If I had to make my prediction right now, I'd say no, but I'd say they're in the hunt. I don't see a situation where Utah finishes dead last in the league. I mean, Arizona finished ahead of the other teams before I mentioned this, so if they could take a leap forward and get a few more wins under their belt, then they could really surprise a lot of teams. So I can't really count Utah out. I think they could be competitive in their first full season in the NHL. Alrighty, that takes care of my preview for the Utah Hockey Club. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.